Welcome back to the Madtown Throwdown Q2. If you're just joining us on this link, this is going to probably be the best version of the feed for the day.
Hopefully.
Round one was plagued with troubleshooting issues on our side. However, it was closed out early enough naturally to give us some time to troubleshoot. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to reintroduce the two of us in case this is your starting video. I'm Skyler with What the Hex, and with me here is Chop.
I'm Chop. I'm from 3 Men in a War Game podcast, and yeah, that's about it for me. I guess that's where I'm from. But you might know me from. We have a pretty cool Discord, pretty cool podcast. At least I think so.
I think so too. He is the hype man of the Madison area.
Yes,
if you're on his Discord, you wouldn't disagree with me even a little bit.
I should really have like a gold chain that's got some Warhammer terrain like hanging from it, like so just come out and really represent. But yes, I love this game. I love this hobby. Happy to be here. So, honored to be here.
3 Men in a War Game and What the Heck's coming together to give you the world qualifier that is Madtown Throwdown Q3. What we're going to do right now is before we kind of give you a recap of where we're at for the day, we're going to jump into the table feed. The players have asked to verify that we've got a good framing and that things look great for them. So we're switching over to that right now. All right.
Dice Tower's okay.
Dice Tower's in a good spot. Yeah. I'll let them know.
Move our dice tray over to the Black Void.
Yeah, it can live there.
Yeah, I can live in the Black Void. That's fine.
I think that would be great.
Yeah, we do have a really good view of it.
And any cards that they can lean towards camera side will be clearer
much
for
better.
us.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm going to brief them on like equipping an upgrade to tap the fighter that it's going on.
Yeah, tap the fighter and then try and hold it out over the dice tray where you're going to put the What the Hex dice tray. Hold the upgrade there for just a sec.
All right. I think this is going to be good.
I think it's good. Hopefully, anybody out in chat, let us know how our video's looking and how the audio sounds.
That dice tray,
too.
it's almost like we planned for that spot.
Right? Yeah, it's real good.
Perfect. Okay. So what we have here is we're going to have Exiled Dead versus Thricefold Discord. I see Brian's paint job on the Discord there. So what that means is Davy is up to bat versus Wellner. This is a game I'm super excited to see.
So Davy's playing Thricefold.
Discord, yeah,
okay.
With Rhymeworm's Bite.
All right.
Yeah.
I love this.
This is a control build. And boy, does he love to tempt you.
If you remember, this was one of the deck pairings that I was most excited about as Wintermaw was coming out. So I'm really excited to actually see this deck and see Davy pilot it because he's such a competent player.
All right, so we'll be requesting deck lists here shortly. So those will be coming in. We'll be able to comment like on what is still left to be played and anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm understanding correctly, a longboard is occurring.
Oh boy, yeah, it does look that way. It looks like a longboard, and this would mean that Davy is choosing position.
I think so too.
Yep.
All right, looks like we have a longboard going. Hey, Brian. So Brian, for those at home, is our TO for the day. Would you be able to get us some deck lists for these two?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Thank you, sir.
We'll start referencing those as soon as the TO is able. He's got the round to kick off here. Yeah, all right. So I think that's Glacial Tomb. I think that might be but you know what? We're going to look up some board names here. So how am I doing? Is that
That is Glacial Tomb.
That's Glacial Tomb. Yep. It's one of my favorite boards from Death Gorge forward.
Got it.
And then we have a starting board. You think at this point in the game I would know what the name of that one is. It is the Cursed Oubliette.
Aha, so it is.
Do you think I pronounced that correctly? Oubliette?
So it's a magic card, and ever since I was a wee lad, that's how I've always pronounced it. But I'm sure both of us are butchering the French.
Touche.
But yes, oubliette is the way I've pronounced that my entire life. So I've probably been wrong for 30 years if I have been.
All right. So one of the things I want to call out is the zeros that are currently in the bottom left and bottom right of the feed. So those are going to be our glory trackers for the 2 players. We do have Discord's board on the left, so that's how we're going to kick this off. We're going to maintain that across the series. So Davy on Discord will be the left, and Wellner on Exiled Dead will be the right. Almost called it Exiled Deed. Markov has been known to be referred to as it's like Markov in disguise and regular man.
Okay.
You should be receiving those deck lists direct.
Thank you so
Perfect.
much. On
Thank
Discord.
you.
Perfect.
All right. Deck lists are coming in and may have come in already.
So one thing I'll say, just a comment for folks who aren't familiar with the game or maybe just catching up and haven't watched in a while, Exiled Dead, you might be noting that he's got 5 already inspired fighters. This is a strange warband. In this warband, all of your thralls or minions or what have you start inspired as they onto the board, and then they come back uninspired.
Absolutely.
Which is a very cool mechanic because this is a resurrection-focused mechanic. They recur dead fighters very easily.
And the disguise there, by the way, that I mentioned on Markov is actually the Malevolent Mass Pairings itself. So that's the pairing that we have with...
Wow.
This deck has been fascinating to watch him develop. He hated it at first. In fact, I think there was a bit of like poking and prodding from me. I told him I thought it was the best pairing for them, and he started trying some games with it, and he's like, I don't think you're wrong, but I haven't figured it out yet. And like, I hate you for putting the bug in my head that it's their best deck. At this point in time, I'm confident that he agrees with that statement, and he's done more with it than I ever thought it capable to do.
I certainly think it's a good list because Malevolent Masks wants 2 things. It wants a large number of fighters, and it wants fighters to be able to be recurred, so that you don't lose the value of your mask upgrades and your ability to score for fighters that have masks. So I think that was an ace call by you, and I really, really appreciate that Wellner has put in the work to refine the deck to a really cool point that it's in now.
Speaking of that refinement, this version of the build has 6 surges.
I see.
I think he's had versions of this build that have not had 6 surges. I could be wrong. But it is one of the build barriers you have to get over as Exiled Dead. Is sometimes the right decision is 5 surges instead of 6.
Yeah.
Just based on what they have available to them.
Sure, and because with the bodies, you're positionally based objectives are easier to score generally, and those are usually end phase objectives. So I could see that being the right call. But you're right. Yep, it does look like he is on 6. But he's got some cool ones. I recognize a lot of the Malevolent Masks as a Malevolent Mask lover myself. It's my favorite pairing with the Sepulchral Guard in both Nemesis and Championship.
I respect it. I think Malevolent Mask is just a blast. It's such a toolbox.
Such a cool deck.
It's such a puzzle box.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So deployment has begun here. So D'Antelos is starting scared, is what I'd call that.
In the way back, yeah. Look at that.
As far back as possible. So
I get it.
We have Ion in front. That is the zombie that has been thrown to the forward position. We have Markov already revealed. I'm surprised a little bit, to be frank, that Markov's already been revealed, but hanging out next to the objective there. Now, if I knew these pictures on these objectives better, I could tell you, I think that that's a 5 in the back. In fact, I'm pretty sure it is. So it's like a stone idol, sticking out. So that's a 5. You know what? My tokens are right over there. I'm going to go grab them real quick.
Yeah, just so we can take a peek at them while we're going.
Yeah.
So we just had the roll-off for first. It looks like Davy, based on the dice I see coming out of Wellner's trade, he just had a single. All right, still got some deployment stuff going on. Yeah, we've got the rest of our units going down here. Oh, no, we have a dance. This is first activation. All right, so first activation from Wellner was a dance, and it looks like he's basically shored up the ranks in that first row. So that front row is now full O dead boys.
Oh, he's using move tokens. I thought for sure he'd be using dice, just given how much movement he's going to have to track. Yeah, so the stone idol sticking out in the back there, that is our 5. Oh, this is a different set of tokens.
It is certainly a different set of tokens.
They're using
That's
the
okay.
Death Gorge tokens.
Yeah, they sure are.
That's okay. Well, that makes this harder. So we've got a 3 behind Davy there. I'm just trying to figure out where our evens are, is what's going on.
You go ahead and keep the viewers satiated. I'll be right back.
All right, thank you. All right, so we're on a second activation already from the Exiled Dead, and it is another move dance here. D'Angelo's coming all the way up to that objective. I'm gonna guess that's a 4. If my eyes don't deceive me, that D'Angelo's is now on. I think you were fetching us some evens and odds there.
Yes. So
Thank you so much.
The evens are both on Wellner's side of the board.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah.
So that's a 2 in the back. Okay.
So it's and then on the opposite side of the board, moving into the middle, we have 3, 5, 1. So the 1 is the one in the middle of the board.
Okay. All right. So we've got D'Angelos hanging out on an even.
Yep.
And so what you might have missed is we had a shuffle forward again at this point in time. So with the 2 evens back there, he does plan on holding a little bit with Markov and D'Angelos. So I'm going to guess he's hoping to get Echo Guys in hand. We might even get a sneak peek of what's in his hand as he... he does have Echo Guys. Oh, this is interesting. We didn't actually get a little bit of hand sneak in our last feed here.
No, this is cool. We get a little bit of info now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we did see the Echo Guys, right? And
Yes, we did.
think
Echo Guys is a card that he loves to see in that opening hand.
yeah.
And can you blame him?
No.
So the goal is going to be to put that on Markov,
Mm-hmm.
and then Puppeteer. And so he'll take the Echo Guys action and send Regulus off on a charge.
Interesting. What a fascinating deck. We also saw Taking Over in the deck, which is also pretty interesting because you can make that action out of sequence, and
Absolutely.
so we could see some cool stuff happening there too.
You know, I didn't get to see if Davy's opening was the Davy Classic, drawing a power card.
Draw a power card. I mean, that is when you're playing Control, the Elite Warband hanging out in the back, yeah, draw a power card. Why not? He's not in any hurry. It is interesting, though, what we've got going on. I'm just going to go through and I'm going to look at Wellner's deck to see if he has... Okay, so this is why you were talking about Vision of Success with where Markov is, right? Because Vision of Success will... did he already score it?
I don't think I've seen it scored yet.
Okay, because that's going to be the even, standing on an even.
Mm-hmm. But he's also got Audacious Aspect in the deck. So he surges both for holding an even and an odd at various points in the game.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
He sure does. Okay.
What's interesting too, talking about like goal cards or your big payoff cards. So we have Completed Pact in the deck here from our Exiled Dead player. What that reads is it's a 3 glory payout for end phase. Score this in an end phase if there are more surviving friendly fighters with mask upgrades than there are surviving enemy fighters.
Wow, this is actually really easy for
him.
Wellner to score in this matchup because outside of one fighter, the Thricefold aren't particularly tanky. It's actually pretty easy to bring Lassevier down in a lot of cases. So I think Davy's going to want to probably play pretty cagey with Lassevier, even though he is such a strong hitter and so fast. Yeah, that's so fast.
too.
So interesting.
Vashtis just came up for an attack. Got a reroll. I believe we have a stagger token in play that caused the reroll. I could be mistaken. But it was a crit success.
Which is going to be a dead Zambo.
Oh, all right. The hand model there was once again Brian coming in to just ask for some stream visibility.
Yep, I love this. Oh, interesting. I don't know if I had caught that.
Yeah, two wounds just went down on D'Angelos from that attack, and no drive back occurred.
Yeah. Oh.
So keeping right up against D'Angelos.
Yeah.
I'm surprised to see D'Angelos so far forward with
Yeah,
his sword
I
here.
really thought that D'Angelos was hanging out in the back, but now I see exactly where D'Angelos is.
I'll be curious if he's looking at using Vashtis's excessive paramountcy, which is not an often used ability.
Brian, what card just ripped in with a wolf rider getting
That's
tossed?
The Irresistible Feast.
Could you remind me what Irresistible
Ping
Feast is?
all fighters that are adjacent to another fighter
Ooh.
or Davy. Oh, and
He
yeah,
chose all.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Wow. Wellner chose all. Fascinating.
Okay.
He's our mad scientist.
What's he got?
All right, so we have the stagger flipping over to a guard, so that was what the reroll was for before.
That was Possessive Crouch.
Oh, and the right bait takes D'Angelos out. Oh, wow. All right, so Davy's grabbing 2 glory there. He's not 3, 4 glory there.
Yeah, that's huge.
Wow. All right, so not only is D'Angelos out, which is so key, especially this early in the game for both sides of this table.
What a heads-up play by Davy. Wow.
So what we saw is deadly to all coming in. So that is multiple fighters took damage in the same either action phase or activation, or power step. As soon as he chose everyone, deadly to all was getting scored there, and then that right bait kill put Gone Without a Trace over the top for the kill.
Okay, I see it.
And I believe so. I've only seen 1 glory resting on Gone Without a Trace. I gotta take a look at that card.
If that friendly fighter was an enemy fighter and the damage was dealt by a domain card,
it was
gain
not
additional-
a domain card.
Yeah.
Understood. All right, so let me walk one of those glory back. And Davy is definitely missing his bounty there, so hopefully he catches that shortly.
Oh, because 2 glory bounty.
Oh, no, just a 1 glory bounty in general, but only 2 glory visible on Davy's side at this point.
Oh, I see, I see.
I'll be right back. I'm going to go notify the players that there is a glory to be had there yet.
Yes, yes. All right, it looks like we have Wellner doing what he can to scramble back here round 1. This is going to be a little bit of a rough match now that he can't use... basically the way this warband works is the fighter that was taken out, D'Angelos, is a horde controller, and so D'Angelos has abilities that allows him to maneuver all of those fighters. And sorry, let's address chat here, like it in the stream. This is not using the errata from earlier this week. We had an errata cutoff.
Yes, of August 3rd.
August 3rd. So anything that would have happened in the last 2 weeks, we were not paying attention to for the
purposes of today,
tournament.
yeah,
And the reason for that, right, is that the prize that's on the line here is a golden ticket to Worlds, and we want to give our players enough time and practice and not throw a wrench in their plans and all the work and prep they've done over the last couple months for this tournament by a surprise errata a week or 2 ahead of time, which is what happened. So, yes, we weren't past that errata cutoff.
All right, so we saw here, Fueled by Pain was just scored by Davy. Scores immediately after an opponent's activation step if each surviving friendly fighter has 1 or more wound counters. Everyone on the table is wounded. Oh, friendly fighters. I see, I understand.
So Fueled by Pain scored.
All right, and it looks like another score was grabbed there. He snuck another surge in on me. What was that?
Nope.
It looks like Get Moving has scored. So immediately after an activation step, if each friendly fighter has 1 or more move tokens, or each friendly fighter has 1 or more charge tokens, it looks as though charge was the route taken forward. We're into end phase scoring already. These two are ripping through this round.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit of table talk about what that round looked like for Wellner. and a
Discarding the
full
whole
toss.
hand. Wow. Just looking for anything to get going here. I was mentioning while you're out of the room how hard this is for him now that D'Angelos is gone. It's kind of a linchpin warband, right? And so the linchpin is out. And it makes this pretty tough, especially with all of those zombies on 2 wounds. They're going to be really easy pickings for anyone on the other side of the table. So Vexmore, Vashtis, Lasavir, all one-shot all these zombies, and they're all vulnerable too. So even ping damage will take care of them now. All right, what do we got flashing up there? Sorry, I missed it.
I don't see any scoring.
It was an upgrade.
So we have an upgrade down?
We have upgrades going down. I'll see if I can...
I think that's the Helm of Insight.
Okay.
It's a false gift. You can give this upgrade to an enemy fighter, if you'd like. This fighter's defense characteristic is 2 shield and cannot be modified further. This fighter cannot have line of sight to fighters that are 2 or more hexes away.
Okay.
So that went down on Lasavir. Lasavir is not... Oh, you know what? I think I've got it wrong. That is in his deck, but I think I'm actually looking at a Grim face here. I think I'm actually looking at Tough Enough. I'm confident that's Tough Enough. So disregard.
Yeah.
We're seeing instead, this fighter cannot be dealt precisely 1 damage unless that damage would take this fighter out of action. And that went down on Lasavir.
On Lasavir. Smart, because Lasavir's on 2 health, right? So you don't want him getting ping damage. Especially with all these zombies doing 1.
Wounded.
He is wounded. He's got 1 on him. Well, the thing is because all of these are 1 damage attacks. So none of the zombies can even touch Lasavir unless they're doing additional damage right now.
I see.
And yes, Keith, Madtown Hobby, that is a very cool dice tower on Wellner's side of the board. I assume since you noted it's a cool dice tower, that means the stream is better now and that we're not losing as many frames as we were, because I think if we were losing frames you wouldn't be able to see how cool that dice tower actually is.
So she did go down. Extra damage did come in here, and Appalling End is scoring. So Appalling End is scores immediately after a friendly minion's attack action took the fighter out. I see 2 glory on Wellner's side, so 1 for the bounty and 1 for Appalling End there.
And we lost Lasavir.
Which inspires... I believe Vashtis. Yeah.
Yep, it's Vashtis. So now we've got, it looks like Vexmore and Vashtis inspired. Okay.
So
wow.
he's going to be relying heavily on getting Regulus into this game.
Yep. I'm really admiring the tenacity here, just not folding over after losing. I mean, he's played this warband countless times at this point, so I think he's ready to not have D'Angelos.
I think he surpassed my reps on any warband, and like I played Skaith for a year straight.
Sure, yeah. I mean, he's put in the time.
He fell in love with the warband that he pulled out of our donation bin.
That's so great, though. I love that.
Me too. What a dire situation he's in, though. So he's got... Oh, all right, so we do have a false gift coming out. This one I recognize immediately as the Perfect Blade.
Okay, that's a good one.
Absolutely. So opting to give it to himself instead of his opponent, what Davy could get from this as far as mileage goes, maybe in future rounds,
is a one-shot.
Well,
right?
Here for sure.
Yeah.
But because this is a false gift, he gives this to the enemy. This fighter is not considered to have any other upgrades or attack actions other than this attack action. So he can hand this over to a masked fighter and say, no, you don't have a mask.
No. Oh, wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm. But here he is selfishly choosing to take it on and give it to Vashtis.
Yeah. Well, and I think the reason he's doing that, right, if you think about it for Vashtis is quick, right? We've got move 4. And so if he wants to get down and get busy with Markov, that's a one-shot. That's a 3 hammer, 1-shot onto Markov. And that's basically lights out at that point.
Lights out indeed. Markov hanging a healthy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Really far back.
6.
6 away, yeah.
All right, so we do have a Perfect Blade attack coming in with 2 successes
Uh-oh. Against something that's not going to be alive in a moment.
Yeah, and we'll see shortly which fighter.
There, whoop.
Oh, that was Regulus that he had pulled up.
Oh, and that's why we saw the Perfect Blade come down, too.
Yep, to reach for that 3 glory kill there.
Yeah.
So that's another bounty for Davy, tossing him up to 6.
Yeah, because Regulus would have been 3 health too, right? So the Perfect Blade gives him that exact damage strike.
Mm-hmm. You know, and is Markov hanging out at 3 at the start as well? Yeah.
Yes, that's. I mean, right. I was thinking in terms of Markov, but I didn't realize Regulus was right in front.
And I guess Markov is hanging out with the only mask that he's got at the moment that is Envy Shroud, so that's a +1 wound. And not allowed to have any other upgrades. He also runs traditionally a +1 wound card specific for Markov, so I always forget exactly how many wounds Markov has, 3 or 4, because it's generally 4 when I try to take him down. Now we did see one of we saw Vision of Success score here after that activation because of that Envy Shroud and his position on the
objective
4.
there.
Yeah. Yep. And after that activation, he brought Regulus back. So Regulus has a raise token and now a laser beam.
A laser beam, but also if we're counting right, yeah. I mean, we've got, if we can charge out here, we've got another lethal charge.
And Domino Dominance scoring off of Markov's Inspired State there as well at the end of that power.
Mm-hmm. So Wellner down, but certainly not out.
And Davy just did a charge backwards, coming forward with 2 dice, 1 success against, I think, a crit.
Yeah. Whoops.
Whoa.
But still really smart, right? Because now he's forcing charges on the zombies, so he's not going to have repeat attacks, and he's also not going to have support, right? So that was actually a really, really, really smart charge.
Oh, especially for this. Earth-Shattering Tread just came in. He just said, hey, those 4 hexes around me, they're death for each of your wounded fighters.
Lethal, and they're all wounded.
Yep.
So now,
Go ahead. Come across this moat.
And he has range 2, so now he can reach all of the zombies in range.
And he's charged out.
Yes, so he can just repeatedly go.
Wow.
This is interesting. Powerful position here for Davy.
Now, if D'Angelos was alive right now, you march them all backwards in one swoop and take away 4 targets, but not an option at this time. So we are seeing another reactivation of Markov's Puppeteer with a charge from Regulus.
We do have crit defense there on
Vashtis.
On Vashtis, yep.
All right.
Woof.
And then, so with Puppeteer, he gets to choose the order of the fighters. So he says Markov's going to do Puppeteer.
Yeah.
As a result of this, him and Regulus are going to take turns. So in this case, he charged first, and then he chose to move Markov up onto, I believe, the 1, but an odd position for sure.
Yeah, it is the 1. Yeah, the 1's the middle objective.
Perfect.
Okay.
Was that an offensive? That was an offensive roll?
It was a zombo down. Yep, another zombie down. And we've got a couple looks like a couple rhyme word, or this one, definitely 1 point coming in.
Yeah, that is Subterranean Threat. 1 or more enemy fighters were taken out of action in an activation step immediately after.
Yep.
And those enemy fighters had no
move
or
or
charge
tokens.
tokens.
And he did definitely fulfill that.
What else did we see? Score there. It snuck in on me.
It snuck by me too.
That's all right. I think it was Escalating Scream. Score this immediately after friendly fighters success. Nope, couldn't have been that. Maybe Fueled by Pain. Either way, we're gonna bump Davy up to 9 here.
Got some other tables.
Ooh, we have a table report.
News.
So table 2 is Phil versus Pavend. So Phil's Skinnerkin, Void Curse Thralls versus Paven's Rhymeworm's Bite, Sirenized Razors.
Yep.
Fascinating.
Phil set boards flush. Phil is down.
Oh no.
No. So a long board game ahead.
Yep. And then in table 3, Bobby's Breakneck Slaughter Head Krakas versus Alex's Kagra's Ravagers with Breakneck Slaughter. and Headcrackers is taking them to town.
Oh boy.
Headcrackers is taking him to town. All right. That's disappointing news for our Kagra aholic. Now, just chiming in on the game that just the moves that just occurred. So we did have another puppeteer action here. A move forward. He could have chose barge, I believe. I don't think there was anything preventing him from a barge at this time, but he wanted to hold on to that guard token.
Yes.
So as a result, I think he ended up missing this attack.
Oh.
Because he didn't have a reroll.
So fourth activation coming in from Davy here. What's he got going on? One would assume an attack.
And to catch stream up, because again, we had a rough go of the round 1 table that we featured.
Yeah.
That was Zach on Damatan, Breakneck Storm Coven.
I mean, that's actually not wrong.
Hey, I kind of like that. And Siren Eyes Razors, played by Pavend, with Rhymeworm's Bite pairing. All right.
2 successes. Who are we attacking is the question. 2 dice coming out. Oof, looks like a crit.
I believe at least one of those is a crit.
Yep.
At this distance, it's hard to decipher if we're dealing with crits or
double
support.
Yeah, or double support.
Yep. But that round 1 did go to Pavin after 2 games.
Yep.
Damatan did have to concede, and the first game was tabled, and chose to end the round early, get on to the next game. And it was a super close second game.
Very close.
15 to 14 at the end, and I did not see that coming. Damatan was up. All right, so.
Sorry, I'm just looking to see the upgrade that went down there.
Oh, perfect.
Dark Humor.
I love it. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Dark Humor is you can re-roll 1 defense dice in this fighter's defense rolls. So that's and you can make that, if this fighter has the upgrade, you can make the following reaction, Mocking Laugh reaction. Use this after an attack action that targeted this fighter. If this fighter's defense roll contained 1 or more critical successes, push the fighter 1 hex. So you get to re-roll and you get incidental pushing. Dark Humor, huge upgrade here. And that went down on Markov.
Oh, naturally. That makes sense. So Markov is now hanging out with 2 defense dice and a reroll, as well as a little bit of cheek if he can pull a crit into it. So the only raised fighter.
Oh no, it was on Regulus. Regulus is our Voltron fighter at the moment.
Oh, I apologize.
Okay, that was my bad. I called it wrong.
So I think Regulus is only on that 1 defense dice, so really just trying to up the efficacy of it.
Yep.
And what do we have? Is that dynamic? Oh, Unfeeling Fortitude, +1 wounds. So that fighter is now a 4-wound fighter.
4-wound fighter.
No more Perfect Blade shenanigans in one go from you, Davy.
No.
Davy did pull some end phase off here, I believe, because we're looking at the refresh of tokens here. So just calling that out real quick. He did bump up to a total of 12. He scored Triumph of Carnality, scores in an end phase of 4 or more fighters each have 1 or more wound counters and or are out of action. I missed the 2-pointer that went alongside there, but it was going to be either corralled like sheep or never punished.
Yeah.
And given board states, it could have been
either. Yeah.
Yep. With another one ready to come eventually.
So as we stand, moving into round 3.
Oh, he's been handed a false gift.
He sure has.
All right. That is Invincible Armor. You can give this upgrade to an enemy fighter, so he's giving it straight to Regulus.
Who's now on
Davy.
5 wounds. So he's made him a large fighter.
With -2 move. So positionally, Regulus is... What's Regulus's natural move speed here? Let me take a look.
I'm going to guess 2.
3. But
so he's on 1 move, but he's now a large fighter.
He cannot reach either fighter with the positioning here. So we have, he is amidst his own zombie horde, which means his zombies are blocking him from getting to the enemy leader.
Oh no, they sure are.
Yep. but not from a Victrix's Eye attack. And a trapped position.
I see. Yeah, we've got
Oh,
Vastus in
clever.
a trapped position.
And that's something he's able to pull off with Puppeteer. He's able to, no, that's fine. I'll just fire my laser beam as my Puppeteer action.
No dodges.
So Vexmore.
Oh, no, Vexmore's on defense.
Yeah.
On shields.
So he did block that.
Yeah.
And that was a move from Markov. Now,
right.
he's playing those really smart. Because if he were to charge, all of a sudden the combo's done. So he only gets that one charge from Markov, or he can pressure position and potentially get multiple attacks off.
I see.
While still being able to activate Regulus.
Yep.
So at this point in time, we do have 2 Inspired Fighters left for Davy. Which means both are going to be on those 2 defense dice that we keep seeing coming out. But more importantly, if Vexmore ever rolls without a single success in his defense roll, he'll give himself a nice little -1 damage there.
Oh, I see. Because the Locus of Indulgence.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, now we've got. Oh, what is? Okay.
Revealed Aspect is coming out. He is not using it to draw a card. He's using it to toss. Oh, I love that play. So he took Envy Shroud out of hand, or off of Markov, back into hand, and traded it in for Markov's specific upgrade that is going to give him +1 wound and some other benefits here as well. It's called Convert Seal. The other benefit is +1 dice to this fighter's range 1 attack actions. So how about I upgrade my Envy Shroud to include some plus dice and unlock my ability to continue to upgrade.
Perfect. All right. Oh,
Oh,
boy.
no.
Oh, boy. See ya, Zombie.
No roll needed. I'll just put this here.
Yep. Yeah. Double crit. No chance. Extra glory for Davy.
Up to 13 at this time.
All right. Second activation for Wellner.
I bet Wellner's thinking, if I can complete this pact, I'm going to score 3 glory. I just need to kill one of them.
Yeah. Just one of them will do it.
Because Envy Shroud is still hanging out in his hand to come down as his second mask. And a kill would also give him the glory needed. There we go. Vastus is out by the hand of Markov there. And we have a Victrix's Eye follow-up here.
So we just need 2 masks out, right, at this point for completed pact?
Yes.
All right.
And Davy, so this is interesting. So there was a crit and 2 successes from that Victrix's Eye with Cleave. So Davy really probably wanted to roll shields there because they wouldn't count as successes. He'd get that minus damage. But instead, Victrix's Eye was able to hit for 2. Mm-hmm.
We have a rules question.
All right. I'm going to step aside for a rules question real quick. Chop, keep the mic warm for me.
I will work on it. All right, so we've got both players considering what we've got going on here.
I didn't think so either.
And it looks like Wellner's checking some upgrades. I'm imagining we're going to see that upgrade, that second upgrade, come out onto someone. But we got to wait to see the way that Davy's going to respond. And
All right. Good to go.
alrighty.
Some momentum considerations.
Aha,
There's-
momentum. It's such a strange mechanic, and it resolves very, very weirdly.
Thankfully, the FAQs have been robust. The latest one to come out as well. Any Rhymelock questions you have, answered. Hungry and Parasite questions, answered.
Good, good.
They made sure to clear up any vagueness. So what did I miss here?
Nothing. We were just. This is the first thing that's happened since you got up.
Some hard thinking.
Yeah, hard thinking, and now we've got. Looks like a. No, I don't know what Vexmore's doing.
I missed
Just moving.
I missed a glory reward for. Oh, he got he finally got alternating strikes. Good for him. Scores immediately after an activation step in which 2 or more friendly fighters each made one or more attack actions. Now, Chop, could I draw your attention to the screen here for alternating strikes on Underworld's DB? Immediately after an activation step in which 2 or more friendly Frighters
look at that.
each made one or more attack actions.
That's some copy editing right there.
I think that this is just one of my favorite Easter eggs on Underworld's DB. This is not on the card. It's just here.
It's just here? Okay, great. That's really funny. Really clean, too. That's hilarious.
All right. We have... So that was a move.
Yeah, it's just a move from Vexmore.
So why might that
That's
be?
what I'm trying to square myself here. Is he trying to deny any glory? I wonder what he thinks could be hanging out there. No, I don't think so.
So... man...
Because
I could not say.
Any of the things, well, I mean, I guess he might not know what's in Wellner's deck, but anything in Wellner's deck would be fine. So Victorious Veils, he could score regardless of position.
Speaking of which, I'm getting a peek. Stoic Appearance, Completed Pact, and
So he has Stoic Appearance, which he'll almost certainly score, right?
as long as he can get Markov to an objective, he's the only one that can hold.
Right.
Warband,
Okay,
yeah.
and there's that second mask.
As far away from
Yep.
him as possible.
Oh, and I guess we have 3 out now.
That-
right? So
That could potentially end up being a mistake. Davy can position in such a way where that is guaranteed to be the furthest zombie away, and Soul Slice shards it.
ooh, okay.
Well, I guess the plus wound soaks it up here. So, not as exciting as I initially thought. But we do see some jockeying for tokens here. Davy on 4 for the tiebreaker, and Wellner on 2 for the tiebreaker. We have end phase scoring happening here. So that was jockeying. And that is a Victorious Veils. How many points is that Victorious Veils? I gotta take a look. Score this in an end phase if 3 or more surviving friendly fighters each have a mask upgrade. Do we? We do.
We do.
And this is the third end phase.
So that's
this is a
3
glory Victorious Veils.
Yes.
So that was a 7-point hand.
Wow.
For
Wellner.
For Wellner there. Getting him up to a 13 finish. It was just not enough, though, with another 5 glory scored. If I can, there's a little bit of a glare for us here, but I can try to walk you through, viewers, what we have here. We have Indulgence giving them 1, and I'm going to guess Triumph of Paramountcy for another 4.
Yep.
Or, well, another 3, giving us a total of 4 there.
Yep.
So, I believe our end score was 17 on Davy.
13 or 14 on Wellner.
And 14 on Wellner. Difference of 3, and a lot of each other's decks seen.
Yes.
Including Wellner's endgame bomb, fully on display. What a good game! I still can't believe we saw the loss of D'Anthelos in round 1.
Right away, it was almost like within the first 2 or 3 activations, right? Just wasn't even you would maybe the 4th activation in round 1, but yeah, just real early.
Still buffering, unfortunately longer. At least the stuff that was recorded earlier is fine to watch without any problems. Excellent.
Okay, perfect.
That's good to hear.
Maybe what we can do is 1 round per video.
We've also not seen nearly as much dropping.
Yeah, that's true.
I think we just might have reached an unfortunate moment in the internet within the last 4 or 5 minutes. But hopefully it passes.
Yep.
And actually, according to our alerts here, we're seeing fewer
drop frames.
Yeah. So the measures we took are showing improvement.
They are.
Excellent. I think I'm still confident.
And especially if we're able to publish and not have any issues with buffering after the fact.
Agree.
That's almost more important.
All right, so Pavind and Zach being able to check out round 1 later. I'm sure they're itching to see.
As Pavind said, he could observe any of his whoopsies.
As somebody who lost his warband to a pink slip match, there is pain in that exercise.
Sure.
but pain I could not avoid.
Oh, those pink slip matches, man.
All right, so I'm going to reset our counters here at the top of the next round. In the meantime, let's see. Has the board been presented? I'll go ahead. I'll have you keep an eye on the camera there. I'm going to reset our counters.
Sounds good. All right, looks like we do have board presentation. Looks like Wellner is giving us an even board placement, which to be expected from his warband.
Yeah, that stroll across the long board.
Yeah, does not advantageous.
And gives you time to just think about everything else that could be happening if you
Yeah.
didn't have to make that stroll.
I am a little worried for Davy here, because for Wellner to be able to bring that last match back to within 3 on the long board after losing D'Angelos in round 1, huge. It just goes to show you the power of the mass deck, the power of this warband, and also the skill of the pilot.
Absolutely. I had the pleasure of playing a game against this deck just on game night or league night on Thursday.
This last Thursday.
Yeah, and I was playing Spinnerite. If you're watching, his Magor's Fiends plus Ramlock Relic. That deck is a blast because Gartok cannot be driven back and has 4 wounds to soak. So let me go hang out on those objectives that I want to hold with Rhymelock.
Yeah.
But as I was playing him, I got Trophy Hunter on Magor, which allowed me, every kill I took got me additional bounty. So I just started farming zombies. But did Wellner quit? No. He hung in and was like, I got this. Like, there's still crazy scoring to be found in here. I can do something crazy. And sure enough, like, the game ended up way closer. Because of that perseverance, all that limit testing of like, I'm down, what can I do?
Yep. How far can I come up? And it goes, like I said, just goes to show you in that round, it looked pretty grim, starting from the top of the second round. But Wellner pulled it right back to within 3. So now we're fully in his domain, right? We're on an even board.
Absolutely. In fact, this time around, I believe he's hanging with an even and an odd. We can we took a picture of the last one because we're professionals, so
Yes.
we now have something to reference here.
We know what the objectives are.
We're seeing a mulligan here from Davy out the rip, and a mulligan from Wellner as well. 3 objectives apiece. We see. Oh, I'm sure Wellner did not enjoy revealing that. So Wellner is running totally overpowered. Your warband holds 2 or more objectives. He only has 2 fighters that can hold, and Davy now knows that. Not only does that need to be true, but and more than half of the fighters in 1 or more enemy warbands are out of action and or have 1 or more wound tokens. We have a roll off going. We're gonna let this game the deployment kick off here with maybe an update from RTO. Who's just stepped in.
So we got finals from all tables now. So Pavend with Sirenized Razors beat Phil's Skinnerkin 22-11. So he was able to still clear with some haunch count glory.
That was game 1.
Game 1.
Okay.
Alex versus Bobby. Bobby took that 22-12. Bobby with Headcracker's Breakneck Slaughter versus Alex Kagra's Breakneck Slaughter.
Okay.
And then we have Jared taking game 1 with his Headcrackers against
All right.
Brian's Breakneck Slaughter Morgoth's Crushes.
All right.
Table 5, we have Zach beating Jake, our Traveler, 16-5.
All right. So
Zach has Domitan.
So Domitan's with Breakneck takes Crimson Court with Hungry and Parasite in game 1.
Table 6, we have Jazz winning by a concession over Danielle.
Okay.
Okay.
Jazz is rocking Crimson
Court
with
Void Curse Thralls.
With Void Curse Thralls. Really enjoy
Danielle's
that.
running Hexbane's Void Curse Thralls.
Oh, a nice little mirror match there for that universal pairing.
And then we have some savagery at the bottom table. We have Connor beating Emmett in game 1, 17-1.
Woof.
Rippa's with,
Snarlfang, Ribbon, Thundrix, Profiteer's a new one.
and I assume Thundrix is Rhymelech Relic.
I will verify.
If so, go Emmett
Yes.
Yeah.
and come back.
I asked him, I was like, so is it Skittershanks? And he's like, no, Thundrix. And I'm like, you madman.
I love it.
All right, I have our objectives confirmed. Back on Wellner's side, we have the 2 and 3.
Excellent.
It's on the other side, toward the middle of the board with the glare is objective 5, and then up toward the corners is objective 4 and 1.
You should know what it is.
Oh, is he running Passive Prophecy?
No, Fearsome Fortress.
Fearsome
Oh,
Fortress.
indeed. I should know. Man after my heart. Hello.
You guys need? You got everything you need?
Got everything we need.
If you need anything else,
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much.
That was our gracious host.
All right, what do we got here? I'm not positive what that card is.
Oh, that is that Channel Dynamism? Yeah. Okay. So this is a spell if cast, and we're casting it on a man, not a focus, but a channel. There we go.
Alright.
Casting it on a channel if cast, each friendly conductive fighter's move characteristic is 4. This effect persists until the end of the phase.
Wow, so he's able to dance all the way up the
there.
board.
Yeah. It is conductive fighters, and that does include Diantelos.
All right, so everybody marching
Again
right up.
with this Diantelos pressure.
Yeah.
I'm surprised not to see the hangback. So I understand the strategy. If he can have Diantelos as a part of the dance attack, then he can potentially stagger the target. A staggered target receives more damage from a conductive zombie fighter.
Okay.
It looks like a temptation has come down from Davy.
Heart's Desire. Pick an opponent. They pick one. Push one fighter up to 2 hexes so that it's adjacent to one or more fighters in yours, or stagger each fighter from that player's warband that is within 3 hexes of one or more fighters in your warband.
And the stagger was the choice.
Stagger was the choice.
He has to. I mean, it's Diantelos
Yeah,
otherwise.
Otherwise, Dianthos is getting pushed up. Yep.
Yep. Would you like to serve Diantelos to me on a platter, or would you like to
Have
stagger your
everyone
entire
staggered.
warband?
Yeah. I think you pick the stagger every time there.
I like the little hand gesture too. Go ahead.
And to you now. Ooh.
So
yeah,
charge from Lasavir on
right up.
anyways. And with stagger, treating her kindly here. 1 success so far.
The reroll.
A
and
crit success.
Wow. All right, Vastus.
So we're probably
Or Lasavir.
or we are seeing 2 damage go down for sure, and no defense needed. I love that her forearms is how she supports herself.
Uh-huh.
It's
So,
so good.
Yeah. Wow. What intense.
All right, so we're going into a third from Wellner here. I imagine we will see an attack dance, but he's going to give it one final think through before going forward with it.
Yeah.
Does he pump everything into Vexmore? No. So he's starting the dance, and he's starting it with Diantelos. Maybe. This is hard, because what he's thinking is, if I can at least drive this fighter back into my zombie horde, I can start pinning her down the line.
Yes.
With-
Oh, I see. Yeah. So he's gonna try and push Lasavir up into the zombies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yeah,
he's
there
going to
it
do
is.
so successfully.
And now he's gonna get 2 attacks on Lasavir and then 2 attacks on Vastus.
Exactly.
All right.
He could, if he needs, and if he starts with Lasavir, which it looks like he's doing, he can drive her back down through the line as well.
Oh, sure. Wow. This is ridiculous.
A crit success will take Lasavir down and score appalling or alternating strikes.
Yeah.
I just heard Wellner exasperated. Was that?
No,
No,
this is
he
Wellner
was-
happy.
he was
so I think
relieved.
relieved. Yeah, and I think what's gonna happen now is we may get 3 attacks onto onto Vexmore
Because he
here.
starts with the rightmost.
Yeah, and he'll push him down.
I do not know what card just came down from
No,
Davy,
it's
but
too
I'm
fast.
super curious. Because that had to have been a reactionary. There's no way we're in power. We haven't seen enough attacks attempts.
I don't think so.
Unless... Oh, just pure luck. Just pure luck came out. So, reaction, play this after a friendly fighter is dealt precisely 1 damage. That fighter is not dealt that damage unless that damage would take that fighter out
Okay.
of action. I expected more attacks there.
Yeah.
Did you
same.
expect more attacks
I
there?
did.
Yeah,
At least one more.
we're in
but-
power. Yeah. Okay.
Well, predictable first upgrade here.
Dark humor. That reroll on your main man. And it inspired D'Antelos because of the successful conductive zombie attack there.
Mm-hmm. All right, and
All right,
then the
Vig-
eye.
onto
Also
Regulus
pretty, on
again.
the Regulus. Pretty predictable double here.
And then Domino Dominance at the end of power.
Wow. Okay. Question is, what is Davy going to do from this position?
So charging back to make sure that no free dance, right?
Mhm.
And then choice of target. He could have rerolled, chose to keep the 1 success. That was enough.
Yeah, bam.
All right. So there is the first glory for Davy. We call that the seed glory.
Yes, the seed glory. And he's.
And
I think it looks like he's immediately going to spend it.
You never want to give Davy seed glory.
Okay. Trying to see what Wellner's got in his hand to see what our end phase here looks like. I think totally overpowered it is in his hand. Oh no, it can't be, right? Because it was in his Oh man, I'm not sure. Not sure. Oh, but he scored a surge. It is totally overpowered. It is it's back in his hand. Do you remember he mulliganed the totally overpowered, but he's already redrawn it.
Excellent. At this point, you know, if he sprints away, though, what's his natural movement speed on D'Antelos? 3?
He's doing
Oh,
it.
he's doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where are we getting the extra movement speed from? It's still in. Is that all round? Fantastic.
Through the whole phase, yeah.
End of phase. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Got to bring all those move and stagger tokens back, buddy.
I'm surprised he didn't land on the objective, and I wonder if that was like, what's the thought process there, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because that's how you get totally
overpowered. Yeah, is they're both on an objective, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because he's got the upgrades on him.
Yeah, interesting. And he's meeting the requirements for the other side of the card right now because, he's not. That's what it is.
What?
So that wound token that's chilling on Lassevier, right? She's also a dead fighter, so she only counts as 1 wounded or dead fighter, right?
Oh.
And he's got 1 wounded or dead
dead
fighter
fighter.
in D'Antelos right now.
Got it.
Yep.
Got it.
So that's why totally overpowered's not scoring here, and that's why he doesn't need to fully position for it.
Understood.
But he's thinking ahead.
Yep. Feels like he's basically saying, you want it, come and get it. So I don't know that there's anywhere Davy can go in this activation where he's not going to face some pretty severe consequences at the beginning of next round here. Well, all right, here we go.
So Vashtis is coming in, tossing, I believe, a range 3 against.
Damage 1, yeah.
Let's see. So a staggered target. We'll see here soon who, because 2 channels will beat. Oh my gosh, a crit roll just came in and saved D'Angelos.
Always when you need it. All right, that's the top of or the bottom of the round.
Where did that reroll come from? I assume it came from Dark Humor, but oh, she's inspired. I see. So that was a range 4 attack. That was huge.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Okay.
And Soul Slice Shards coming in.
Who's that going to hit?
It's gotta end up hitting that.
That one.
Yep.
Got it.